What is good, Counter-Strike fans? Welcome back to my 25th episode of my HLTV Fantasy. Today, we're going to be talking about Stage 2 of IEM Cologne. A little bit under 3 hours left, but like promised, I always try to get these videos out. But yeah, Stage 1 kind of went according to the script. A couple upsets here and there, but the big teams made it to Stage 2. And now in Stage 2, we'll finally see all the roster moves that have been made, which is going to be very interesting, and I'm looking forward to it. But before we get started, make sure to like and subscribe. I would appreciate it. I am also running a fantasy for the fall season for HLTV, so there'll be a link down below for you to join. If there is enough participation in it and also on these videos, I might think about doing a giveaway for maybe a Steam gift card. Not gonna be too big, but it'll be a little bit something for everyone that tunes into these videos. So hoping to see you join the league, and then I'll probably update about the Steam gift card in a later video, and I'll see whether it would be possible for me to do that. But yeah, let's talk about how I did in Stage 1. And just really quickly, this is my Stage 1 team. Decided to go with double NIP, double Tyloo and Furia. Top 22% with 10 points. Kaspersky, amazing player. Really great entries, honestly. It's definitely worth the price. Rinko was okay for his price. Fallen went 2-0, but points wise he didn't do too great. And then Tyloo, because they didn't make it to the next stage, they just weren't able to get the rating for them to be worth it. Yamjum did fine. G, however, not so much. Masaya will probably been a better pick, but it is what it is. And for the best value for money, Gamer Legion was very good. PR and Res, like mentioned before, they're always gonna be the ones farming some good rating if G Gamer Legion does very well. Alongside Kersey as well. One-offs for Casavado, Kaspersky, and Lucky. And then you have Face Boys with Rain and Frozen being best value. Very interesting for Frozen as well. He was very expensive last event, and he was still up here. But that was to happen because, like I mentioned before, I thought Face had the easiest side of the bracket. So there's something to think about for this fantasy. And let's talk about Stage 2 and the brackets really quickly. For Group A, I have in the upper final Vitality versus Falcons, with Vitality winning that. In the lower final, I have Mongols versus G2, with Mongols winning that. I think Group A is actually really strong. It's a lot of question marks from teams like Astralis, G2, and Furia, Gamer Legion as well, and Mongols. But in general, it's a strong group. I think teams like Vitality are not going to have the easiest time to farm. I mean, Astralis in the first round, who have gotten a lot of reps in already this season. Vitality could be upset there. G2 or Furia in the next round as well. I don't expect them to have too much big rating. Falcons, however, have a solid matchup against Gamer Legion. Mongols will be tough, but I expect them to go as well in the upper final. And honestly, everyone other than 3D Max, I could see in the lower finals. I have Mongols winning that, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's G2, Furia, Astralis, or even Gamer Legion. So Group A is a little bit tougher to call. Group B, I'll have in the upper final Miles versus Spirit, with Spirit winning the upper final. And then for the lower final, I have NIP versus FaZe, with FaZe winning the lower final and making it to the playoffs. Group E, I would say, is a lot easier. There's two good teams here, and it's Miles versus Spirit. I expect them to be in the upper final. And then who will be fighting for the lower final spot? I can only see FaZe, NIP, and maybe Navi being there. I expect Aurora, Heroic, and Liquid not to make it too far in this event. So I would say actually that Spirit have the easiest out of the bracket. I think round one against Heroic will be an easy win, and then facing either Aurora and IP, just based off raw firepower, Spirit should beat both of those. So Spirit have a good side of the bracket where they could farm a lot of rating. And now we can finally talk about the players. We'll start off with Vitality. Vitality, you're paying for the consistency and what you expect. You're probably not gonna get any peaks and best value for money from these players. Flamesy, his rating went down a lot in the major, so he might not be worth it, but it'll be a tough opposition as well. So I don't know. I'll probably avoid Flamesy for this one. Messi, however, top position usually does well for Messi and Robs, so they're definitely options. Saiwu is always an option at 240. However, I'd rather go with Dunk for the same price. And then Apex, well, he's an IGL and he's over 200,000. He is a fragging IGL, and usually Vitality does really well. So Apex, I wouldn't mind as a fifth option or pairing up alongside another Vitality player. For Mouse, I believe that Mouse will do good. However, I wouldn't pick Spinks and Torsi. I mean, not Torsi, Surgeon. I think they're a little bit too expensive at those prices. I would say my favorite option is probably Jim Hat and Brolin, with Torsi being a bit of a differential. Mongols, usually I don't really like Mongols because they don't farm rating, and I don't expect them to for their bracket. If you have to go with Mongols, definitely go with Sensu if you believe in them. And then after that, probably go with one of Techno or Misinho for the cheaper prices. I wouldn't spend up on Blitz or 910. For Spirit, I would say there's value always in Dunk, like I mentioned before many times. He always puts up a 1.4 rating, and he's always one of the best value for money. However, I think for this event, it's a little harder to fit him in because you won't be able to build as good of a lineup around him. I actually really like Sway at the price of 201. He is very aggressive as well, like Donk. Completely different player from Magix, who was more supportive. So he could take some farm rating away from Donk, and he could be great value at 201. And Shiro as well is always great value. Never as good as Donk, but he's always up there as well. And I would probably avoid Sontix and Chopper. For Aurora, they got a worse version of Xantaris, literally in Xcloud. I probably wouldn't pick any of these. If you have to, probably either Xcloud, Jota, or Waxic. Falcons, I think Falcons are a great option here. I think Kyosuke at 215, if he puts up even close to his rating, he'll definitely be worth the price. Monacia probably a boy, and I think Nico is a great differential. Kickstone and Tessis are just fine as well at those prices. For Navi, big change by losing IJL. I was expecting either Bit or Emma to go. Bit because the other team were coming for him. Emma because he still struggles sometimes on the server. However, now they replaced JO with Makase. I think it's probably not a like for like replacement, honestly. JO was very good, even if people were bringing up his worst stats. He was still a very good player. And if you had to pick Navi players, I'd probably go with Wonderful for his consistency, or someone like Ebe. For FaZe Clan, they did very well. And I think you can definitely back Brokey, Frozen, and Rain. I would probably avoid Elige, and then definitely don't go with Kerrigan at that price, and with all the available players that we have. And my favorite option would probably be Frozen. For Furia, again, it's going to be very tough for them to make it to the next stage, but because around that price, alongside maybe like Jury, are definitely great value. Astralis, again, kind of like Furia, probably won't make it. Has had a good enough of reps in it, but I just don't expect him to. Jabi has made changes to his roles to allow Stair into better roles, but still Jabi is performing at a great rate. If I had to pick someone from Astralis, it will definitely be Stomp. For G2, I think all 5 players are great value if they live up to their potential and make it to the next stage. My favorites will definitely be someone like Matías, because if you know about him in stage, in tier 2 with Enterprise and Sampi, he did really well there. And then my other option would be Heavy God because of his consistency. Gamer Legion, again, Res and PR are the 2 options, but I really like Tossin at 183. He's put up a 1.07 rating, and if even close comes to that, he'll definitely worth the price. 3 Max is a no-go, so is Liquid, and in my opinion also Heroic. But NIP, however, I really like what Snappy's done with his team. I think they have a great coach as well, and I think they have a good team with good firepower. Kaspersky looks like a gem of an entry fragger. You have still a great anchor, a top 3 anchor in the game in Shush. Wrinkle's a great opera as well, and then Ajax has just been much better this year. So I think all 5 are definitely options. Probably Snappy would be my least favorite, but other than that, they're all very good options. And now that we have gone over the players, we can take a look at my team. And this will be my team. It'll be double mouse with Brolin and Jim Hat, double Falcons with Kyosuke and Tessis, and then bringing it back with Sway from Spirit. Honestly, I think it's a great lineup. I really like Spirit's side of the bracket, but I couldn't pair up with him too easily, so I'd rather just go with one Sway. Falcons as well. Kyosuke and Tessis should do really well. And I think Tessis is a great upgrade over Kixen because it's the high potential we've seen from him. He just needs to be more consistent with it, and hopefully Kyosuke will give him space to perform. And then finally, Brolin and Jim Hat. Not the easiest side of the bracket. However, Mal should be able to take care of business and make it to the group final, and hopefully not get destroyed too much with their rating. But I think Jim Hat is the perfect time for him to face good opposition and for him to pop off. And then Brolin will do Brolin things. But yeah, let me know what you think of my team and leave your teams down below. I'll try to get to as many as I can before the event starts. We only have a little bit of time, so I won't expect anyone to put their team down there. But yeah, remember to like and subscribe like I mentioned. And if you're interested about the joining my leaderboard, please click the link down below. And yeah, good luck, have fun, and see you for the next time. Peace.